Coda Tysis. This is one I was very excited for. It is a direct upgrade to the normal Tysis, and I have to say this is one of the best primers in the game. As you can see, it is a massive increase to the normal Tysis, even in magazine, CC, CD, damage. That's really, really good. So why is it one of the best primers in the game? This thing actually has a way of firing that it's not written anywhere, if I'm not wrong. You know, might be on the wiki, splits out caustic darts that corrode their victims from within. And on the Coda, doesn't say anything. On the effect, there's nothing written here. This is the build. If you don't have a Riven, go with your shot or whatever you like. Why is it so good? This thing actually, when you shoot it, it lands on the target, and after a short delay, it delivers more status procs, pretty much. This is a sum up of the effect. But it has to land on the enemy. If you use punch through, you won't be seeing this. Keep that in mind. You don't want punch through in this weapon. Even if you build it for damage, you don't want that. Look. See? Stacks went up. After that short delay, kinda lands like a second hit, and more status get applied. That's how this weapon works. And it has been working like this for, the longest time, but now we got a better version of this weapon that we can use it to, prime with more efficiency, have even more rounds per magazine, which is a huge deal because at some point you'll just feel like the weapon wouldn't have just a large magazine. You would have to constantly reload. So that is pretty amazing. What other builds do I have? Primer without heat. Heat inherit primer, which is this. This one is to deal damage, but again, let me actually show the cannonade to you, because this adds punch through. Okay, I'm telling you, you don't want punch through on this thing. Okay, 5 status effects. Four. You can see. Okay, let's just change this thing. Let's remove this. Put a hornet strike. And now, take a look. There we go. We have 10 stacks. There we go. We have, 8 stacks. That's how it goes. That's why you don't want to punch through on the weapon. But this is the heat build, heat inherit build. Ideally, I would have first weapon just shooting before I'm shooting with this one. Priming the heat before I do with this one. But it can handle itself without much problem. Mainly, of course, for single target. 2 shots up to a... It's even gonna be a 1 shot? No. 1 tick away. Oh, it did. Yeah. This weapon is pretty powerful. Extremely good single target primer. Very good single target damage dealer. And you can use Enervate. It's gonna be really freaking good. Build for the Augur set to get as much shields as we can back. So Augur Seeker, Augur Pact, kind of that. And this is just another regular build, but instead of having Encumber, I'm using Dexterity because who knows? You might just need Dexterity sometimes. It used to be more common, now not so much. But this is my standard one. What should you go with the valence one? Valence bonus. Whatever you feel like taking, honestly. You got your IPS that's based on the weapon. You got also base corrosive. So you really have to think on what you want, because we can get, other than that, we can get radiation from the accelerated isotope. We can get magnetic from magnetic mic that gives critical damage and magnetic damage, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, so you have to think what you want. I have here built in the viral and heat. If I can't add more stuff, but if I were to add another element, I would just make, with this I would make blast. Toxin would be gas, electricity would be radiation that I already got. So I went with magnetic, so I can actually drop the magnetic might. Yeah. This is what my go-to for now. I like having status duration, that's why I was Seeker. It is built this way because of my disruptions. I like taking the Tysis. I took it to the level cap many times. You see, just one shot. Look at the amount of stacks we got there. The amount of different unique status effects. And usually, 2 shots would give me max viral. There it is! A max viral with 2 shots. Yeah, it's usually with 2 shots. With 1 shot, you can, but it is kinda rare. Kinda, I mean very rare. I'm using Cumber, yeah. If the dispo ever goes up, this could potentially give me that, or a better roll with only multi-shot and status chance. Could be the deal too, But yeah, I am very happy with the Coda Tysis. This thing is definitely going to level cap with some of the builds. Yeah, level cap disruption. Amazing. This weapon's just amazing for that. Yeah, priority targets, no problem. Leave your comments down below. Leave it a like, subscribe, and peace.